Hi, gang. This is your introduction to Module 1. And we are going to be learning about the Near Eastern peoples and the Egyptians. And these two cultures are going on at the very same time, which is why they're all in the same module. Because it's sometimes difficult when we do one and then the other. People think all the Near Eastern people lived and they died, and then all the Egyptian people lived and then they died. And that's not how it happens. There's cross connections all the time, and especially in the Near East and in Egypt. And your assignment for Module 1 is going to actually have you compare the two cultures in what I hope is a kind of fun and creative assignment for you. If you have any questions about that, you can always email me. So we begin in what is now modern day Iraq with the Sumerians, and they are the first people to actually domesticate any animals. So some of the comments about the cave paintings talked about the animals that were wild. Nobody was domesticating anything in the prehistoric time period. That all came with the coming of farming, and that was, again, because of the Sumerians. We also have our first cities in Sumerian culture, and I was actually just listening to a podcast the other day about I can't remember the author, but the book is called Metropolis, and it's a history of cities. And I might get it because it sounds so interesting, and I'm a total nerd. But he was talking about the city of Uruk, Uruk, which I think I've been saying wrong for my entire life. I'm gonna end up in like art history purgatory when I die for all the words that I've said wrong for like forever. Anyway, the first city, one of the first cities that the Sumerians set up is Uruk, and it has a ziggurat, which you'll be learning about, which are similar to but not the same as the pyramids of Egypt. The Sumerian culture is very much based on the gods, on their religion, and on serving the gods. In Egypt, again, it's a little different. They too have a very extensive pantheon of gods. But the way that they go about interacting with them and thinking about them, and the way they think about their leader, the pharaoh, is very different than the Sumerians. But the Near Eastern culture, we call it the Near East because we have a lot of different groups that conquer each other. Egypt kind of stays Egypt until the Romans finally conquer them, because the Romans practically conquer everybody. But the Egyptians kind of stay the same. There's one weirdo period with the pharaoh Akhenaten that you will see, and everything goes topsy-turvy with him, but it doesn't last very long. And then they go back to their stable culture. But over in the Near East, there is lots of war and conquering and fighting, and one group takes over another group, and then the other group comes back, and then another one comes in, and it goes like this for the entire time that we're going to be talking about it. So we have the Sumerians, and then they're conquered by the Akkadians. Akkadians? I'm probably saying it wrong. Then the Neo-Sumerians come back, and then we have the Babylonians, and then there are the Assyrians, and then there are the Neo-Babylonians, and then finally the Persians, which are happening at the same time as the Greeks. And I actually stop us around Assyrian, I think, because that's enough Near Eastern tet-a-tat. Anyway, this is the area of the Fertile Crescent. It's why everybody wants that land and that area, because it's such rich space for farming. And then, like I said, it's modern day Iraq, and it's between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers. So you're going to be learning all about this stuff and the material that they found, the artifacts that they found, some architecture, because once you have a city, you need to have people stay somewhere, so you need to be building for the very first time dwellings and other kinds of structures. We also have writing that is developed. The Sumerians developed cuneiform. The Egyptians have hieroglyphs, and they're not really the same. And you'll be learning about that a little more too. So what else can I tell you? I don't know. I'm interested to see what you guys will think about the material. This is a module where you're in smaller groups, because I don't think I've ever had 386 comments in an introductory discussion board. Woo! So, I mean, it's very good. You guys are very chatty, which is good. But it's really a lot for somebody who just came into the class. Yeah, that's a lot. You're in two different groups, so hopefully you'll be able to comment. And I want to clear up one misperception. You do not have to comment on every single person's comments. I want you to be judicious. I want you to write about the ones that spark something in you or continue the conversation. But I do not want you just going on and saying, "Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That's good. Oh yeah, that's a really interesting comment, Mr. So and so." I want these to be substantive. So you do not have to talk to every single person. That's just not how it would be in a regular class. We'd never get done. So that's not to say I don't want you doing that, but a couple of you are doing a little too much, I think, and you're going to burn out. So 5 people over the course of a week, comment back and forth. If that doesn't seem like enough, do a little more, but you don't have to talk to everybody. It's just, especially if you're doing it and you're just leaving like a one-line comment that's not really, if you're just agreeing, that's not really enhancing the conversation. And what I'm looking for is an enhancement of the conversation. So what about that comment is interesting? What else would you like to know? What else would you ask? How could we take that idea further? All right. So if you're not sure about that, or you're concerned or confused about what I really want, I'm not giving minimum and maximum numbers of posts. It's just, I don't think that works. And my brain just doesn't work that way. I'm just not doing that. So if you have any questions or comments or concerns about that, you know where I am, gmckay@mcdaniel.edu, and I'm happy to set up a Zoom and talk about it, or just email back and forth, whatever works. All right. Well, I hope you enjoy Module 1, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. See you later. Bye-bye.